The ideas in paragraphs 3 and 8 connect to support a key idea about Benjamin Franklin. Okay, guys, that's a big question. So we have to go back and we have to look at paragraph 3 and 8, and we have to see how they go together to support a key idea about Benjamin Franklin. So in this case, I'm going to read all the answer choices first before I go reread those paragraphs. So do paragraphs 3 and 8 both support that Benjamin Franklin served in government so he could do more to help people? Do they both describe how Benjamin Franklin built up his printing business and gained fame? Do they both explain why Franklin fought for the new country rather than support the British government? That means instead of supporting it. Or did D both explain why Franklin left Britain in order to help create the Constitution? So there's no way, friends, that you can pick an answer without looking back and reading, because I have no idea. Like, I have no clue. I have to go back and read. You cannot pick one of those without going back and reading. And honestly, I think some readers look at that and are like, oh, I give up. Circle something. They're like, oh, I have to read 2 paragraphs? Absolutely not. And they just give up. But team, if we actually take the time to go back and look, this is something that is simpler than you think. So I'm going to go back to paragraph 3, I'm going to go back to paragraph 8, and then I'm going to come up with my answer. All right, so first I'm going to go to paragraph number 3. Right here. It says, years passed, and Franklin continued with his printing business. He had many interests, but he especially liked politics because he wanted to improve people's lives. Even though the papers he printed brought people information, he knew he could do more for people using the power of government. The government makes laws and helps provide services. In 1751, the people of Pennsylvania elected Franklin to work in the colonial government as a councilman. This was the beginning of his political career, and for the next 40 years, he would spend his life in politics. Okay, so even for this paragraph, I hashtag government and I hashtagged councilman in 1751. So paragraph 3 is talking about, okay, he liked writing and printing, but he realized that he could do more for people using government. And I said that right there. So it said he knew he could do more for people using the power of government, and so he became a councilman. So that's paragraph 3. Now we're going to go read paragraph 8 right here. After the war, Franklin went back to Philadelphia. He worked there in the government for several more years. Then at the age of 81, he helped write another famous document. This time was the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution explained the laws of the new country. Franklin asked all the states to sign the Constitution. When they did, a president was elected for the new country. Franklin was pleased that the president was his old friend, George Washington. So, this is talking about after the war, he goes back and he works in the government again. And at 81, he writes the Constitution. And the Constitution is the document that our government uses today. So he wrote that very important government document, the Constitution. So I'm already seeing something that they have in common, right? So they did not both talk about him getting famous from his printing business, right? That was mentioned in paragraph 2. If you look back in paragraph 2, it talks about him writing and printing his own papers and pamphlets and all that. But 3 actually said he wanted to do more besides just print stuff, right? He wanted to go into government. So, and then, so I'm going to get rid of B. They didn't both talk about his printing business. Both explained why he fought for the new country. Well, neither of them talked about him fighting. And D, both explain why Franklin left Britain in order to help create the Constitution. Well, I know we're going to see Constitution and think, oh, ding, 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 that's it. But Constitution was only mentioned in paragraph 8 over here. It was only mentioned in paragraph 8. The Constitution was not mentioned over here in paragraph 3. So therefore, that can't be correct because it says both, right? Oops, a little blurry. It says both. And they did not both explain the Constitution. They did, however, both talk about how he served in the government so that way he could help people. And I'm going to go find my evidence for that right now. So over here, I kind of already underlined it. Said he knew he could do more for people using the power of government. And he worked in the government as a councilman. And then in paragraph 8, it says he worked there in the government for several more years. Then he even wrote the Constitution of the United States. So the answer to number 29 is A.